is now a reminder of something horrific. Sit back, relax and enjoy 3 horror stories that took place while listening to Big Shaq's Mans Not Hot. Enjoy the video. Number 1. Something weird happened to me the other day. It was late at night and I was coming home from a friend's house. What happened to me next, I cannot explain. I looked at the clock on my car and it was around 9 p.m. I was a bit tired because I had a long day in work previously. I turned on the radio just to listen to some music, and then this song comes on. A really catchy tune. The lyrics were strange and I just remember laughing at how bad they were. Later on, I come to identify that song as Big Shaq's Mans Not Hot. It was a great song when I heard it, but something happened then. Everything went quiet. From nowhere, everything in the car shut down. I looked at my cell phone and I had no service. At this point, I was on a side street with very little traffic came, so there was no other car surrounding me either, and I was on my own. I failed to start my car and get a signal on my mobile, so I sat there a couple of minutes, planning on what to do next. I was going to call a recovery vehicle when, just like that, everything was back up and running again. But it came from nowhere. My phone had signal, and when the radio turned back on, the strangest thing. The song I was listening to started exactly on the point that it went off. Now if this was on a CD I could understand, but it was on the radio. I did start to think that maybe the station played the same song twice, and it was just a coincidence that it was on the same part as I'd left it earlier. But that was when I noticed the time. According to the time on my phone, it was 10 past 10. But my car said it was just after 9. That made more sense to me as I wasn't in a car an hour. Definitely not. I did chalk it up to a temporary malfunction with the phone. Maybe losing a network caused the clock to reset. I started to rationalize everything. That was until my phone started ringing and I had over 30 missed calls. But that's when the phone rang. My mother was calling me and she was concerned that I hadn't been home yet. I told her that I hadn't long left my friend's house, but she had already phoned my friend as she couldn't get in touch with me initially. My friend had told her that it had been over an hour since I'd left her house, and that's when she became concerned. As you can imagine now, I was extra confused. How did I lose an hour? Where did I lose it to? I went home and told some of my family members what happened, and they were just convinced that I'd simply forgot what time it was. But I am absolutely certain that something untoward happened. Something I'll never quite understand, but something I hope does not happen again. Every time I hear the song now, it always takes me back to that day, and it gives me a shiver down my spine. Number 2. Now, I know this is going to start like a stereotypical horror movie, but I can assure you it's not going to be that. Me and my friends rented a cabin in the woods just at the start of the Christmas holidays. It was one of those trips where you get away from the day-to-day struggles of life. You have no phones, no laptop, no technology, not even Wi-Fi. You and a couple of friends just get together and you have a couple of beers and just chat. I gotta say I was looking forward to this for months. I'd had a really hard year, so it was good to go out and relax with friends. The day started off as normal. Me and my friends got our bags together. We got a taxi to the cabin. We went in, sorted all our bags out, and we all picked the beds. There was me and 3 friends. Now, there was 3 rules. Rule 1 was no technology. Rule 2, bring plenty of beer. And Rule 3, no playing any tricks on anyone. Now, with my kind of friends, we kind of understood that the 3rd rule might be broken. I mean, there's going to be 4 friends in a cabin in the woods without anything to do other than play jokes on each other. So we thought it was going to be inevitable, but you can't help but try. So we spend the whole day just drinking beer, having a joke, telling some stories and talking about the girls in school. We decided we're going to put on some music. Obviously the technology rule didn't extend to music. Everybody needs music. So a couple of songs in, and Big Shaq's Mans Not Hot comes on. I absolutely love this song, but my three friends don't think the same. They were more into 80s music and kind of the death metal stuff. To add to this, on the way there we were playing it over and over and over again, and I think they were getting a little bit annoyed. One of my friends, who for this purpose were referred to as James, told me to turn that rubbish off. Obviously he didn't use the word rubbish. So I start to wind him up. There's that little bit in a song where he says, "The thing goes scur up." Now, I'm a wind-up merchant at heart, and when he said he didn't like it, I spent about 20 minutes repeating it over and over again. James has a very, very short temper. I reach over and I put the song back on his phone. This is when he picks up the phone, opens up the back window, and launches it onto the backyard. Everybody's laughing. I'm a little bit angry, but I can kind of understand why. And it's not like it was going to do much damage, as it was waterproof anyway, so the rain wouldn't have got at the phone and destroyed it. It was more annoying that I had to put my clothes on just to go out and grab the phone, and as it was dark, it wasn't going to be easy to find. I can still hear the song playing outside, so that should help me identify it. A couple of seconds go by and I'm putting on my shoes, and that's when the phone suddenly starts getting further away. Not only that, I could hear rustling and footsteps making their way further and further from our cabin. I tell everyone to be quiet, and that's when they hear it. They instantly stop laughing. They realise something's up here. The phone is getting further and further away, so I make my way and look through the window. And all I see is the light from my phone moving in the distance, moving away from the cabin. I point it out to my friends. We make our way outside the cabin, but we can no longer hear the phone or see who took it. We do a little bit of investigating. We can no longer see the phone or see the person carrying it, but we decided to have a look around for clues to see who or what it was. My friend turned on the only other flashlight we have. We walk around the cabin. My friend calls out. He sounds a little shocked. We go over there, and he points out that he can see footprints. Footprints that wouldn't have been made by us, as we didn't walk around the cabin before that. We carefully follow the footsteps. They make their way in a circle around the cabin. Then the footsteps get deeper underneath the windows. Someone was watching us. Somebody was there in the shadows, keeping an eye on what we were doing. We don't know who it was, but needless to say, the next day, we packed up and left. We didn't even try to recover my phone. Man in the forest, let's not meet again. Number 3. I am a 21-year-old female from London in the United Kingdom. Last month, I was invited to a party with a couple of my friends. It wasn't a party of someone we knew, but a friend of a friend of a friend. We show up around 7 p.m. to the party. Nothing is out of the ordinary, and me and my friends have some drinks. Now, as the night goes on, a couple of my friends are talking to some boys. I'm kind of, as you say, the less attractive one. Not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but my friends always seem to get the attention before I did. I'm there nursing a double vodka and lemonade when a boy walks up to me. He asked me if he could get me another drink. Being on my own, I thought, why not? He goes away and comes back a couple of minutes with the same drink that I asked him for. We're just having a general chat, about things, about school, about generally how things are going at the moment. This is when I start to feel dizzy. Now, I'm not sure where my friends are at this point, so I'm starting to panic a little. The guy I was with says he's going to help me find my friends. Although at this point, I'm just about starting to stand up, and I remember walking through a crowd of people. Some laughing, some smiling, some looking shocked. All of a sudden, I find myself going upstairs to the bedroom. I repeat to him, "Can we just find my friends, please?" He says, I think they are up here. I go into a dark room, and he lays me down on the bed. This is when alarm bells start ringing, but I have no energy in me to fight him off. He starts putting his hands all over me, starts kissing my neck, telling me how much he knows I want it. But I don't, but I can't tell him. All of a sudden outside, I hear my friend walking around calling my name. He puts his hand on my mouth, as the only thing I can do at this point is scream. But not only has he denied me the chance to see my friend, he's denied me the chance to help myself. But I knew what he wanted. He starts to put his hand down my dress, and I think my friend has gone from the door. Suddenly my phone goes off, and the ringtone is Big Shaq's Mans Not Hot. The part where he says about scrap, pap 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 pap. I usually have my phone on silent, so not to be disturbed by my family. Luckily on this occasion, I had it turned on, and up as loud as it could go. Suddenly, I can see his face and he looks shocked. The door swings open and two of my friends are there. They are screaming and shouting, "What are you doing to her?" They were about to turn away and look for me elsewhere before they heard my ringtone going off. The song wasn't as popular then, so it really stood out to them when it went off. He stands up, saying that I wanted it, saying that I agreed to it. At this point, I can only muster the power to mourn. I can't speak, I can't move, I can't stand up. My friend sounds angry, and she shouts at him that she's going to phone the police. He stands up and in a rush, runs out and pushes past my friends. They rush over and support my head while nursing me. It took around 10 minutes for the ambulance to get there, and I was really grateful for my friend. I was in A&E for 12 hours, and only came to after around 6 or 7. The doctors told me that he'd put Rohypnol in my drink, and if my phone hadn't gone off when it did, it would have been a lot worse. I contacted the police and I told them what I knew, and he was arrested 2 days later, hiding out at a friend's house. He pleaded guilty in court to attempted rape and some other charges. I heard recently that several other women came forward claiming that he had raped them also. Girls, just be careful who you allow to buy you a drink. You might not be as lucky as me. Hey guys, it's Peacemaker here. I really enjoyed doing these videos for you. Have you ever had any strange events that's happened while listening to this song? Let me know in the comment section. If you could like, share and subscribe as well, it would be appreciated. And if you wanted to email me as well, there's an email address there you can find also. Maybe just give me some feedback, send me a story. I would be eternally grateful for that. So guys, remember what I always say, be careful of those things that go bump in the night.